Hi, this is Ingvar and I have an absolutely crazy, insane game to look at now. With the white pieces is Grandmaster Vasily Malinin, who was a tremendous attacking player, and yeah, you'll see. And he's playing against Viktor Savinov. This game was played in 1988. Let's start the game immediately. Malinin with white opened with d4. And Savinov went for the Benko Gambit, b5. This gives up a pawn to open lines on the queen side. C takes b5. We go down the main line. Bishop takes a6, although g6 is considered to be a little more accurate. Knight to c3, d6. Everything according to theory here. Knight f3. While he's keeping his options open, he can go for the line with e4, or he can play g3, the Fianchetto line. Malinin goes with g3, and this looks like it will be a battle between white's extra pawn and black's pressure on the queen side. However, Malinin had other ideas, and he had this unusual system here against the Benko Gambit, which you could maybe apply in your own games. It's very interesting, and if you like to attack, Malinin went with h4 here. Very interesting move. Okay, where does the black king go? It's clear that you can't go to the queen side, where there's absolutely no pawn shelter. The king will be wide open here. So black castled anyway. And now h5. Here, black didn't take on h5. I actually have another game with Malinin, which I will show you later on the channel, where black takes on h5. In this game, black denies and plays knight b to d7. To give you a sneak preview, if black takes, let's get the variation color. If black were to take, Malinin sucks the exchange and goes on the offensive. But that's another video. In this game, we had knight b to d7. H takes g, and now, yeah, white has a strong position. He has this open h file. He can bring his bishop to h6 to exchange it, and he could get a dangerous attack, which is very unusual because usually black holds the initiative in the Benko. Here he goes for bishop to h3. No Fianchetto. He wants to perhaps get rid of this bishop and have less defenders for black, but we'll see. Queen c2. He also might have other ideas. Rook to b8 by black. Open line, half open file here that makes sense to place your rook on. And now bishop e3 by Malinin. And it is as if he's baiting black into making his next move, which he did. Black took on d5 with his knight. What's the idea with this? Well, the idea is that if white takes on d5, there is rook takes b2, and then this pawn will drop. So where do we put the queen? Let's say here. Black can flick in this one first. Let's say queen over to the king side, and now rook takes e2. And this guy is hanging. White does have some threats though, so black needs to be careful, but this should be good for black. Okay. So what did Malinin have in mind? Actually, the best move is bishop e6. But Malinin played an absolutely crazy move. And I would have liked to have seen the look on black's face when Malinin played the incredible... Are you ready? Incredible move. Queen takes g6. What on earth is that? You give up the queen for a pawn? Surely this can't work. Well, it's sheer madness, but white gets a very interesting attack. Okay, if black wants to be a chicken, he can play knight f8, and probably he's still alive, but I mean, if somebody sacks the queen for a pawn, and you don't see any immediate mate, you have to accept it, and if they win the brilliancy prize, so be it. But okay, here, bishop e6 check, king f8. And now knight takes d5, so white has got a piece and one pawn for the queen. And here goes the pawn. Boom! So now it's only a piece for the queen. And this shouldn't work, but boy, does white get an attack here. Knight g5. Introducing a mate threat on h7. The king is cornered here. What to do? Black went with knight to f6. He could have probably refuted white's play with queen a5. Rook d8, protecting this, giving the king a square. And then after say knight f4 with ideas of taking here, you can play knight d5, protecting this. And this shouldn't be enough for white, although he still has some threats. In the game, however, Savinov played knight to f6. And this gives white some chances. Now another mate threat, knight to f4. Look at all these light pieces around the king. So this is threatening to come in with another checkmate. So we have to do something. Savinov found queen a5 check. King f1. Bishop takes e2 check. Now if you take this with a knight, well, you get pinned and you're also running away from the attack. You want to have this checkmate threat, so the king keeps running. And now rook e to b8, giving the king a flight square. So black thought, yeah, maybe I'm escaping. But no. Malinin puts on the screws. How do we keep the king where it is and threaten checkmate again? Yes, we play bishop f7, cutting off the e8 square. And since the bishop is defended, any knight check with the f4 knight will be checkmate. So now what can black do? Black has a lot of material. White only has one piece for the queen. So he can give back some material to stop the mate, and he tries to do that. He plays rook b1 first. That's not giving anything away. But after king h2, knight g4 check, king h3, he takes on h1, and now he starts to give away. Knight takes f2. And we'll see the idea of this. White took it, and now bishop to g4. Now if we don't take it, if we move the king, then bishop f5. And now we cover the mate. So white took the bishop, king takes g4. But that allows black a crafty defense here with rook b4. Pinning the knight, so there's no checkmate. White went with king f3. And now black could have refuted white again here with rook takes f4, which is a very nice move. And there's a very nice geometrical motive if white takes with a pawn. And we play queen a8, a long queen move, and we'll pick up the rook on h1. Game over. If white takes with the king, there's queen d2. There are two pieces potentially attacked, so bishop e3, and now queen g2, and e5 is just too strong. White will lose material. Fortunately, black missed this, so we get this beautiful game. Queen a3 check, bishop to e3, and queen 8 check, queen a8 check. Here, probably a bit of a bluff by white. He played bishop d5, attacking the queen. And I'm guessing this must have been a time travel phase, as the complications have been immense, and I'm pretty sure that both players have spent a lot of time here on their moves. Here again, black has an easy win with rook takes f4, undermining the defense of the bishop on d5, and this is completely winning for black. However, his first instinct with his queen attacked was to move it, and he played queen a5. Now white starts to enter here. Knight f to e6. And unfortunately for black, the king must go this way. If you go the other way, you get mated in only one move. Bishop to c6. Very nice geometry here. Everything covered, and the bishop delivers the mate. So we must go to g8. But then what happens? Knight c7 check. And this is just brutal. e6. Bishop takes check. Only one move. King f8. Knight h7. Only one move. King e7. And now the final light piece comes in, bishop to g5 check. And just have a look at this checkmate. Bishop f6, only move. Bishop takes f6. And how beautiful is this? I've seen one similar mate ever. But this is just outrageous. And what a game by Malinin. I mean, he took chances. And, you know, sometimes when you play like this, it's not going to be 100% correct. But boy, is it beautiful. And I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next beautiful game. Bye bye.